At 5 on this Sunday, May 19th, 2024, Pentecost Sunday. Had a great service this morning. Spirit of the Lord moved mightily. We recognized our graduates today as well as preaching on Not Quite Done, talking about the baptism in the Holy Spirit and how God can complete our mission that the Lord has called us to through the power of the Holy Spirit. Today we're looking at another of the more well-known passages or stories in the Old Testament. We're looking at the story of Isaac and Abimelech. Now, you may remember that Abram had an interchange with Abimelech. At least that's what we think. It's the same guy where Abraham told him that Sarah, his wife, was his sister, which she was like a half-sister. But nevertheless, he said that she was his sister so that they wouldn't kill him in order to have his wife, Sarai. And here we see Isaac going to the same basic place. There was a famine in the land besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. This is Genesis chapter 26. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Then the Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land of which I shall tell you. Dwell in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. And I will make your descendants multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give to your descendants all these lands, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." So Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked about his wife. And he said, "She is my sister," for he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," because he thought, lest the men of the place kill me for Rebekah, for she is beautiful to behold. Now it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked through a window and saw there was Isaac showing endearment to Rebekah, his wife, or caressing her. Then Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Quite obviously, she is your wife. So how could you say she is my sister?" Isaac said to him, "Because I said, lest I die on account of her." And Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might soon have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us." So Abimelech charged all his people, saying, "He who touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death." Then Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. The man began to prosper and continued prospering until he became very prosperous, for he had possessions of flocks and possessions of herds and a great number of servants. So the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and they had filled them with earth. And Abraham said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you." So Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." Then Isaac departed from there and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. He called them by the names which his father had called them. Also Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of running water there. The herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdmen, saying, "The water is ours." So he called the name of the well Esek, or quarrel, because they quarreled with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one too. So he called its name Sitnah, or enmity. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, or spaciousness. Because he said, "For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." So you see there's a lot of contention here between Isaac and Abimelech and his people. Abimelech asked him to leave because he said, "You've grown too great for us. We're afraid of you." But Jacob here, Esau and Jacob, Isaac here was just trying, Isaac was just trying to find the right spot for him and his family to be able to proceed and do well and prosper. So he did not want to leave, and he knew Abraham had told him to stay in the land of Canaan, and he was trying to do what God had called them to do. Verse 23, then he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him in the same night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me, since you hate me and sent me away from you? But they said, We have certainly seen that the Lord is with you. So we said, Let there now be an oath between us, and let us make a covenant with you, or a treaty, that you will do us no harm, since we have not touched you, and since we have done nothing to you but good and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed of the Lord. So now there'd been a lot of enmity, a lot of strife, a lot of back and forth between Abimelech's people and Isaac. But now all of a sudden they want to make a treaty because they see that Isaac is truly blessed, and they don't want to be on the other side of his ire should he decide to go to battle against them. So they made him a feast, and they ate and drank. Then they arose early in the morning and swore an oath with one another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. It came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, We have found water. So he called it Sheba, oath, or seven. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba, or well of the oath, or well of the seven, to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took his wives Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they were a grief of mind to Isaac and Rebekah. So this whole story centers around land and wells and property and promises. God had provided Isaac and his family the same promises he had given to Abraham, that he would dwell in the land and that he would be blessed and that everything he did would be blessed, and in him all the families of the earth would be blessed. So Isaac had the same promises. Esau and Jacob had the same promises, and they were trying to live it out, but people were getting in the way. That can happen in your life too. You may have a promise from God, but people are trying to stand in the way of it. Trust God. Be reasonable with people. Don't fear, and know that God will bring it to pass if you'll trust him. And that is the word for today. Can't call you by name because we are pre-recorded, but I want you to know I'm thankful for you and glad that you have been with us, some of you for years now on Live at 5. And we surely appreciate it and thank you for your time, and hope that this blesses you as much as it blesses us to bring it each day, Sunday through Friday. Please have a blessed day. Spend some time with God, and know that we love you and we're praying for you. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.